Synchronicity University has an incredible jam-packed March season coming up. And for a very limited time, you can choose your tuition rate, 5-week courses with me. I'm finally back after 2 years away. And Zamboni Funk and Celeste Brooks. You add to this an incredible speaker series, which includes superstar astrologer Maurice Fernandez. Well, you can see here that there's so much to look forward to and even more. Choose your tuition rate on now at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Hello, fabulous superstar Libra. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of February 2024. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time. It is on the 9th of the month that we have this month's new moon. And this new moon takes place in fellow air sign Aquarius. This part of the sky has to do with what you want in your heart of hearts in every area of life. It has to do with creative fulfillment, creative endeavors, taking chances, taking risks. It has to do with windfalls, and the children in your life are covered here as well. This is an interesting new moon, but it can't really be understood without considering the context in which it takes place in, which is the sign of Aquarius. And there's a party going on. And the party just builds and builds in the days before and after the new moon. On the 5th of the month, Mercury moves into this heart-oriented part of the sky for you. On the 13th, it's Mars. On the 16th, it's Venus. But as these planets step into this part of your sky, they very quickly move to meet Pluto in the sky. This is remarkable energy. It is these divine meetings now that awaken a certain intensity. But the new moon itself, it is speaking in a conversation of tension with Uranus. So the new moon itself holds a surprise, if not shocking quality to it. It's a new moon, so new beginnings that seem to come out of nowhere, that might have you scrambling a little bit. But then all of those conjunctions to Pluto in this part of the sky are about you focusing in on what is true for you, what is right for you. It is about you getting very honest about what you really want. Now, I do want to say, because this part of the sky has to do with gambling, you should be careful with that right about now, because conjunctions of Pluto can sometimes indicate a lot of energy going out. And in this case, that energy might be represented by money. But where you are taking a strategic risk, that is where you've really considered the options and you've really considered the steps you're going to take. Well, you'll be able to see through certain details to launch in a way that you feel good about, and that has that chance for effect, the kind of effect you're hoping for. So for example, if you're trying to have a key meeting around sharing something that you've been doing creatively with more people, that might be something that awakens for you here. Your creative expression, being able to reach a whole lot of people, creating something that a lot of people resonate with. This might also represent children in your life as well. Your fertility may take you very much by surprise at this time. So you are going to want to be a little bit careful with this. But for all that, the children in your life might be a surprise a minute, maybe an unexpected rebellious moment that has you then going to them and communicating and finding a right middle ground for you, finding the truth and finding a transformed and deeper alliance with them. These are some possible scenarios that can arise. I would also add, because this part of the sky has to do with what it is that you need to be happy, I think that is going to take a certain focus, and you might have these flashes of insight now that take you by surprise, but ultimately are exactly what you need. So your heart awakens, but there's also a depth and intensity here that shows you what it is that your heart is really wanting, really feeling beyond the superficial, beyond the distractions. It's about going for a deeper fulfillment and a deeper happiness at this time. Now, navigating forward, the 24th of the month is when we are going to have this month's full moon. And the full moon happens in the sign just before yours. This part of the sky has to do with an understanding of what it is that is happening on levels of soul and psyche and spirit. For a lot of Libras, this is going to be a largely unconscious process. Maybe you feel a little bit more restless. Maybe you just need more sleep. Very possible now. But for others, it's going to be really vivid dreams that gain insight, that help you to understand yourself more and connect you to a sense of karmic blessing in your life. But this part of the sky also has to do with healthy karmic closures. And they may show up now and not necessarily feel very comfortable. And so here's the thing. The full moon is speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter. I love that energy for you. It is healing and hopeful, and Jupiter in a wealth-oriented part of the sky as well. You may end up feeling very fortunate for the fortunate closures that happen now. You may end up feeling richer in some way for what it is that just shows up. However, Saturn and Mercury are across the sky from this full moon. And what that suggests is a serious moment, and maybe some closures that don't necessarily feel easy but are necessary, that challenge you very deeply within. The kind of closures that may have you looking that much more deeply at whom it is that you felt responsible for, whom you felt obligated to, and where some of that might have been misplaced. And so pace yourself at this time. It could be that there are changes in some way in your daily life that represent that feeling of closure, whether it's your work life or places that you frequent. But the closure is ultimately healthy and very blessed. It is a good thing, even if you're not sure about that on the surface. Now, where it comes to matters of love, there are a couple of energies I do want to bring your attention to. So one is, I spoke about the new moon. All that heart energy speaks to romance and flirtation. But it is going to be on the 19th that we are going to have the North Node meeting Chiron in the sky. And this meeting happens in your opposite sign of partnership. This is rare when these two get together. It represents a doorway opening from which the new can find you, and the new represents karmic blessings. This is a part of the sky that has to do with partnerships. So if ever there was the possibility of karmic connections, this really would be it. It's still Chiron though, which means vulnerability. And I'm not saying if there's someone or developments now, it's going to last forever and ever. It might, but it might not. But what I am saying is developments now serve a healing function. And a part of that means being more vulnerable than you have before, so you can see what's really inside of you, where it is you're ready to heal, and where it is that perhaps there's work to be done that you feel called to do in the context of understanding love. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, and even if you're just dating somebody, Chiron meeting the North Node could bring somebody new in. So there's that. But for new connections, if you're just dating someone, I do think the energy of the new moon and all that's happening in that part of the sky, all the intensity as well, can speak to you especially strongly. Open to meeting someone new, you're getting your flirt on, but it may feel rather intense. It may feel like a very strong pull. There might be a sense of you looking to the past and feeling very deeply stirred by what has taken place before. There might be a certain obsessiveness with someone new that may show up now, or someone that you've had your eye on. So these are some possible scenarios that could happen. A flirtation could leave you feeling transformed in some way, regardless of whether or not it goes further. A lot of that, though, is about setting the stage for that truly healing moment of the North Node and Chiron meeting in the sky. If you're just starting to date someone, well, yeah, chances are there's going to be complexity stirring, a lot of emotion stirring with all that's taking place in that heart part of the sky that also has to do with dating as well. But is this person partnership material? Are you moving in that direction with them? I think it is going to be when we get Chiron meeting the North Node that you'll get your most powerful insights. Is this someone to navigate forward with? Are they just showing you what it is within you that needs to be healed as you go in a different direction? Or is it someone brand new that could enter the picture now? And for those of you in an established bond, as much as that heart-oriented energy can be important, I think a more important energy is going to be Chiron in the North Node, because that's a real moment of truth and progress in the context of your bond. And for some Libras, it's going to be very all or nothing. If you're in the right relationship for you, this is a time of absolute vulnerability, really showing yourself more deeply, even if it's hard. And feeling like, okay, there might be work that needs to be done, perhaps on the relationship, but that's okay. You're open to doing it. And you feel like you're called to do this work with this person at this time. But if it is that you have felt that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, I think a lot of the pain of that, the vulnerability around that, what you really feel around that is going to stir so strongly for you now. So pace yourself and be yourself, as I like to say, and do what's right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. A lot is going to be stirring within you, including some sense of insight or desire to move in a positive direction, whether that's with this person or going another way. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I am going to say, actually, I do think Chiron meeting the North Node is a really big deal. That is a rare phenomenon. It happens about every 15 years. It can be a little bit more frequently sometimes, but yeah, normally this is about a once in a decade or so event. This is a big deal. Having Chiron meet the North Node and in your opposite sign means healing people are coming in. They might heal you with the calm and love they bring, or they might heal you by making you aware of all the wounds within, or at least some of them. But that's your work to do, to identify them, to do the work on them, and to move yourself forward. And this is about moving towards greater love than you've known before, whether it's with somebody who's there now, or knowing that this is preparation for an even greater love ahead. Thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month. Would choose your membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.